Hello friends, welcome back to YouTube, and in this video we are going to scrap the images from the web and store them into the file. So the people who are coming directly on this video, I'll recommend them to watch the previous videos before so that you can get the idea about what this is all about and what we have done so far. So far you can see I have launched a browser instance and created a new page and ran this URL. So I'm using this URL images.google.com. so if you open this URL here, images.google.com, so it looks like something like this. So basically we will have to type some text here, like for example flowers, and depending upon this input we'll click on enter, and when we'll hit the enter we'll have lots of images here. So what we'll do is like we'll store some of the images, like we'll store 4 images from here. That's fine. So let's get back first of all. So as we know, like the first thing we need to do is like we need to type the input query in this input box. For that we'll just check its structure. Let's open the developer tools and head toward this input field. Okay, like this is the input field. We can just right click, copy, and the copy selector, because we know that in order to type into this field we will have to get this reference to this input box. So like this is one of the way. You can just right click here, copy, and copy the selector. This uniquely identifies this input box in this page. Okay, let's get back to the code. And here, okay, we have went to that URL, and after that we can use const input field. So input will be basically equivalent to page dot, and we can use a dollar. You know that this is equivalent to document dot query selector, and we can just pass the selector of the input field here. So this will return us the input field, the element handle to that input field. So we'll have to use await here. And now since once we get the input, so we can type something in this input field. So we'll input dot type, and we'll search for flowers, and I'll also make it await. And after that, once the input is typed in the input box, we'll have to press the enter. So we know that there is one more method in the page handle. In the page object we have one more method called page.keyboard, and there's a method called press, and you can pass the string, the key which you want to enter. So I want to press enter. So basically this will open up this URL and type flowers in the input box and press the enter. So let's see. So I'll just start the program. You can start using a node server. Okay, so the Chromium instance is launched. You can see here. Okay, it has went to images.google.com. so let's see whether it's typing something. Oh, you can see it has typed the flowers and pressed the enter as well. Okay, so far so good. Let's get back here and let's see actual structure. Now we need to store the images. So how can we store the images? So if you look at the structure of this page, like everything resides here in this main div. So there's a div, I think we can just take any div basically. So this one will also work. So there's this div. We can just copy this class basically and wait for this selector. And after this, okay, no, we'll not wait for this selector. Like what we can do is we'll take this as a parent and look for all the images tag inside this selector. Okay, just let's wait for this selector. So we can again use await page dot wait for selector. We have also done this thing in our last video. Wait for selector. So wait for selector will take the input argument to which selector you want to wait for. So I just want to wait for this selector. Okay, let's not wait for this selector because it might happen that the div is loaded before and the images are not loaded. So what we can do is like we can just look at this image and okay, it is like rg_i is the class that each image is containing. Let's see whether the above one are containing rg. No, as you can see the images above which are like ads by Google, they are not containing rg_i class. So this one is containing rg_i class. So we'll wait for this selector basically. So at least our one images will be available. So our document, our browser will wait for this selector to load it. Once this selector is loaded, we can again const images. Okay, so this time I'll use page.$eval method. So page$eval method is basically equivalent to document.querySelector_all. So we can use like page.$eval method. So this method takes in two arguments. The first argument is like element reference which we want to grab. So it will basically grab all the elements, whatever the selector we pass here. So we are looking for all the elements with the class of $.rj_i, and the second function to this argument is a page context function. So basically this function will execute in the browser and it will receive, this is a callback function, so it will receive all the elements. So all the elements here, so all the elements will be received in this parameter, and we can just do pretty much everything with this, whatever we want. So we know that this element is basically this image tag. So this image tag is containing this src attribute, which is containing a base64 decoded image. So we know that like from the base64 decoded string image, we can just remove the front part up to like base64, and we can just store this image as a png file. So this will basically become our image. So let's see. So we basically need to look for the src attribute of this tag. So we can just simply do not elements for, we can also make elements for each loop, but I'll make just a for loop for 3 times because I don't want to store all the images. So for I make it where I equals to 0, I is less than or equal to 3, I plus plus, it will basically store the 4 images. So okay, so we have these elements. So we can just map this to, I think okay, let's create a one more variable. Let's not change the main element. Let's create a one more variable called const. So I'll call const temp equals, this is an empty array, and we can make it temp dot push elements dot src. Elements I, sorry, we are looking for a particular element, so we can make elements I dot src. So that will basically return the source of that data, which is the base64 decoded image. But here is some issue, like if you look at the image, this base64 image is containing this front data, which is like front string data colon image slash jpg like terminator base64 comma. So when we store the image as a base64 string, we don't need this front part. So basically we need to slice this part. So we can just try to edit this part. Okay, not this part, but this part src value is too large to edit. Okay, so I think edit as HTML maybe. Okay, so we can see like what we can do. We can use a split method of JavaScript and specify the index which we want to split, and count like how many number of alphabets or characters we want to split. So we can look 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 so it's like 23 characters are there. So basically we need to just to replace these 23 characters, and in the next string we can just store them as a base64, and that will save as a file. So there are 23 characters. So let me do one thing. src we can make, but we need to split it. So I'll use split method, and we need to split it from 0 to 23. With this, it will return us two arrays, 0 to 23. When we will split it, it will return us the two arrays. The first array will be like the like front part of the string, and the second array. So basically, if we do 0 index, it will return first array, but we need to look for first. So basically, the first element will return us this thing, which is like main string for us. Now this is like it. So yeah. Okay, done. And like once this is push, once the for loop is complete, we can return the temp. Okay, so basically all the temp will basically return all the images in a base64 decoded format. So after that we can make a for loop on this images dot for each. Okay, so images dot, okay, we have to await here. Okay, so good idea. because it will take some time. So after the results are available, we can make a for each loop. For each, we will have an image here, and we can just create a function. So image, we can just import the so we can just import our fs module, const fs equals required. So we can just include the file system module here because we want to write to the file. So you can just write fs dot write file, and this will take the name. So name, I'll take it dot png. I'll just append the name from the front. So with image, we can also, in the for each loop, with this image we can also grab the index by specifying. Okay, so in this way we'll get the index. So I'll use the index here, index.png, and the second argument is the actual base64 decoded image. So this will be our base64 decoded image, which will be here. And the third argument is like what kind of encoding to use. So we can specify base64. And the fourth argument is a callback function we can use, but like this function will be executed once the file is written, but we don't want to do anything, so I'll specify it empty. Okay, this is done. So we can just launch the server again and let's see what happened. Okay, browser is launched. Okay, let's see. Input is made and okay, enter key is pressed. Okay, we can see like 0, 1, 2, 3 images are here. Okay, but I think we have some issue, like these are not getting decoded properly. So I think the issue is basically like, okay, let's see what's the issue. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry, oh, I see error here. So like actually this the base64 image contains a comma separated value. So might be like src.split is taking those values as an array. So the split is not actually working on a string, it is working on an array, multiple values of array. So I think split will not work here. So what we can do is like instead of a split, we can use a replace function here. So replace will look for, so we can just use a replace here and look for a starting string, which is like we can use a regex expression here. So we basically need to look for okay, remove this data from the string. So this is like the actually a standard format of a header of the base64 string. So we can look at the png format and base64 here, and that's it. And like okay, the second element is the space. Okay, this is just a regex test, basically removing this part from the string. So we don't want this part in the string, so that's why we just removed it, because we want to store the base64 decoded image. We just remove this part from the string. Like it's a regex test, so we can just actually remove these string literals here. We don't want this one because it's a regex test, so we can write with escape characters. And still an issue? I hope so. Like this time it should run. We are seeing lots of error. I hope not this time at least. Okay, let's just see the images, whether it's containing a header or not. Please don't have the header, don't contain header. Still having a header, like what's wrong here? Oh, no, but this time it has stored the images. Wow. There's a issue with one image, and there might be that is like base64 decoded or something, but you can see like all other 3 images are stored. Okay, yeah, so this is like we can figure it out although what's the issue, but for now it's quite fine, I think. So this is the main idea behind like how to store the images. So you can see these images are getting stored. Okay, so I hope you like the videos, and if you do like the videos, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon also, and stay tuned for more upcoming videos.